Hello everyone, welcome. This is Dr. P. Deepak, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Biotechnology from Dr. N.G.P. Arts and Science College. Today we are going to learn about a topic from nanobiotechnology, that is nanoparticle synthesis. So in this video lecture, you are going to learn about the introduction of nanotechnology and concepts and applications of nanotechnology, different types of nanoparticle synthesis and biological synthesis of nanoparticles and their characterization. Nanobiotechnology is a comprised subject of nanotechnology and biotechnology. Simply, the definition of biotechnology is a production of biological matter with enhanced activity or potential for the betterment of the society. In case of nanotechnology, so nanotechnology is a new branch of science that deals with the nanoparticles. The nanoparticle size ranges between 1 to 100 nanometers. That nanotechnology which offers many applications in different area. By combination of nanotechnology and biotechnology, this nanobiotechnology discipline has produced numerous applications in the area of treatment of diseases and drug delivery methods. So, nanobiotechnology is a discipline in which tools from nanotechnology that are developed and applied to study biological phenomena. For example, the nanoparticles can be served as probes, sensors, or vehicles for biomolecular delivery in circular or cellular systems. The concepts and applications of nanotechnology. So nanotechnology is the understanding of controlled matter at a dimension between approximately 1 and 100 nanometers. So this nanotechnology is a study of the nanoparticles with size ranges between 1 to 100 nanometers. So it can be studied only with electron microscope. So this subject, nanotechnology, brings numerous applications in the area of medical and clinical and therapeutic medicines. Encompassing the nanoscale science, engineering and technology, nanotechnology involves in imaging of the biological material, measuring of the biological materials and modeling of the biological models, that is DNA or proteins or enzymes or genomes that can be modeled and manipulating matter at the small scale. So as the particles are very small in nature, it can penetrate into any kind of cell. Even it can penetrate into the bacterial cell also. So it is involved in the antibiotic preparations also. Coming back to the nanoparticle synthesis, nanoparticles are synthesized or naturally it is being produced. So for nanoparticle synthesis, we can adopt any kind of methods, either chemical method or biological method can be followed. If we need to produce by chemical method, means we can follow polyol method or microemulsions or thermal decomposition or electrochemical synthesis methods. In case of biological method, we can use the bacteria or bacterial extracts or bacterial components, that is metabolites of the bacteria or plant metabolites or fungal metabolites or any kind of biomass produced by biological matters that can be employed for the biological synthesis of the nanoparticles. The chemical synthesis of nanoparticles, which uses the chemicals as a reductant agents. Two different chemicals with a different composition, with a different ratio, they are mixed together to form nanoparticles. Either the reducing agent which act as a nanoparticle like sodium borohydride, elemental hydrogen, polyol process or Tollens reagent, dimethyl formamide. So these reducing agent have been effectively used for the synthesis of chemical nanoparticles. So this diagram explains the chemical process of the nanoparticle synthesis. Here in the burette, the stabilizing agent is frequently dropped into the reducing agent. So the reducing agent and stabilizing agent was continuously agitated on the optimized temperature and optimized RPM rotation for a period of some time based on the reducing agent, based on the nature of the reducing agent and stabilizing agent. So these were determined, the pH and salinity and time of incubation, everything has been calculated and the nanoparticles, chemical nanoparticles have been synthesized. The chemical nanoparticles have much advantages because all the particles which is produced out of chemical synthesis are having a defined size and dimension, and their composition is also predetermined, as the chemicals involved in the chemical synthesis of nanoparticles are predetermined. So the composition of the nanoparticles are also will known only. So, and the structure structure of the nanoparticles also predetermined according to the size requirement, what size and what structure we need, that can be possible out of the chemical synthesis of the nanoparticles, which can be act as a catalysis, data storage, drug delivery, imaging and sensing. Moreover, the working principle of chemical nanoparticles can be clearly predicted because the involving chemicals was earlierly it was known one. So the chemical reactions that takes place in the synthesis of the nanoparticles has been predetermined one. And the disadvantages of chemical synthesis: as the particles are very small in nature, it can cause inhalation problems, and also it can produce nano pollutions. The increased nano pollutions can effectively damage the lungs of the inhaling persons. And biological synthesis, which offers a new nanotechnology process that involves many kind of biological matters. Here, for an example, we have adopted one green approach method. Here we are using some plants materials. The plant materials, either root or shoot or leaves or fruits or any waste product of plants, that can be employed for the synthesis of the nanoparticles. Here the dry biomass of the nano plant materials are reacted with precursor chemicals to form nanoparticles. So these nanoparticles are employed for various applications, starting with the medicine or drug delivery methods or therapeutic applications or environmental monitoring or environmental protection. Many applications has been explained, has been reported out of biological synthesis of nanoparticles. And advantages of biological synthesis of nanoparticles, that includes it is a cheaper and faster method to produce large amount of nanoparticles and requires only single step, and also it is eco-friendly because the material that we are using is a biological one, so it cannot affect the environment and does not require high pressure or energy or temperature, and also we eliminates the need of large quantity of toxic chemicals. And coming back to the disadvantages of biological synthesis, the biological synthesis, even though it is having safer approach, it also have some disadvantages. Their synthesis is very low. In case of chemical synthesis, the large quantities, bulk amount of nanoparticles can be synthesized. But for the biological synthesis, the synthesis quantity is very low. And various physical factors that affect the nanoparticle synthesis, which includes pH, temperature, pressure, and particle size and shape, that cannot be predetermined. The determined size of the particles was not able to produced at mentioned quantity, and pore size of the nanoparticles also cannot be optimized, cannot be determined. And then environment and proximity, all these factors are affecting the synthesis of nanoparticles, biological one. So moreover, the biological, either it is a biologically synthesized nanoparticles or chemically synthesized particles, these particles, nanoparticles, are having various applications that includes therapeutic applications. For treating of cancers, the nanoparticle may be with the size ranges of, it may be in the spherical shape, or it may be in the star shape, or it may be in the oval shape with a different color, or triangle shape, it may be with any kind of shape. So all these particles are greatly employed in the treatment of cancer or treatment of various diseases. Bio-nanosensors are the recent applications of bio-nanotechnology, which offers a new kind of devices that are used to detect the presence or absence of any kind of biological matter with a defined concentration, such as biomolecule or biological structure of an organism, that can be determined by using this bio-nanosensor. So these bio-nanosensors are employed in different field of area, that is environmental monitoring, pharmaceutical discovery, drug discovery, or food processing, cosmetics, chemical industries, and bioterrorism, defense, and bioprocess monitoring, as well as control of the bioprocess. One of the important applications of nanobiotechnology is the designing of a smart capsule that can be manipulated when and where the medicine was released inside the stimulated gastrointestinal tract. When the capsule reaches the organ, a magnet worn on the patient's hip would trigger electrical component that indicates the device to release the medicine. So it reduces the amount or quantity of the drug should be taken by the patient, and also it eliminates the absorbance of the drug by the entire body, and also it reaches the target specified area. In addition to this, many nano devices are synthesized for the delivery of the nanomaterials. For example, here the Philips intelligent pill that can be programmed to deliver medicines in a controlled fashion according to a predefined drug release profile which is to be created per patient condition. It is mostly focused on treating conditions in different areas of intestine based on the acidity of the surroundings. So these drug delivery machines that are used for deliver the drug with a defined size and defined area, it is possible. So recently, the researchers from the Israel Institute of Technology have found the artful way to proper such as bots. So these bots are also called as nanobots or nano swimmers. So these are employed for the treatment of cancer cells. So these nanobots will swim into the bloodstream and it finds the cancer cells and effectively removes the cancer cells apart from the normal cells. So it eliminates the normal cells and only targets the cancer cells. So this much applications has been produced out of the nanotechnology. The nanobiotechnology which offers much applications to all the different area that including pharmaceutical and clinical technologies. One of the important function is nanobot that has been previously discussed. So the nanobots are very useful in disease diagnosing and imaging of the particular targeted area and preventing and treating the diseases and delivery of the drug to the targeted area and act as skin patches and microneedles. Apart from this, the nanotechnology which offers to study the different cellular organelles, how it interact with the drug that can be possible. It also used for the treatment of cancer and diagnosis of the cancer also. With this lecture, we have discussed about the different types of synthesis of nanoparticles and their applications. And these particles can be characterized by using various instrumentation methods starting with UV, FTIR, XRD, and advanced machines like scanning electron microscope or transmission electron microscope or HRTEM. So many advanced instruments that are employed for the characterization of the synthesized particles. So these particles, nanoparticles, either it is synthesized by chemical or biological synthesis, which offers many applications in the area of pharmaceutical and environment protection and etc. Thank you for listening.